Hello, my friends. Welcome to my home studio in the beautiful Catskill Mountains in upstate New York. I am John Morrell. Still, I'm assuming you watch, right? So, all right. So, hey, I'm doing a video today. It was an idea, a request, I guess, from Pete Gallardo, a viewer. And so, what he wanted to see, well, I shouldn't say he, I have no idea. What Pete wanted to see was more underrated fragrances. So I think that's a great idea because I had a ton I could have added into the overrated, underrated video that I did, the tag video. And so I wanted to do another video of underrated gems. Let's check it out.
John Morrell, fragrance review. Here comes the swag. John Morrell, fragrance review. Here comes the swag. Fresh and dope like heroin soap. That lamb's got swag.
My first underrated gem is a cheapie. It's a cheapie. It's something you can pick up 25 bucks, I think. If you go to fragrancenet.com and you use Rang 7. And it is Hunter Intense. Armoff's Hunter Intense. Top notes on this: grapefruit, rosemary, cedar needles, and cardamom. Middle notes: ylang ylang, tuberose. Base notes: cedar, sandalwood, vetiver. All right, so I've had people compare this. I've seen people and read that people compare this to Sauvage. I don't get Sauvage at all. I think we do a disservice when we start doing that. When we start going, okay, this is this combined with this. Like people have compared this to Invictus Aqua as well. I don't get any of that. I mean, I see. Listen, you can always do that, right? You can pick things and go, oh, it smells a little like this combined with this. That's every fragrance. There's, at this point, right, how many fragrances are there in the history of mankind? Millions. And so I think you can pick apart every fragrance and do that. To me, this is its own fragrance. I do think it leans a little younger, maybe, although I don't want to rest. I really dig it. But I understand where I do think it caters to the same audience as a Sauvage or an Invictus Aqua, maybe. I just think it's a sweet fragrance. This is an EDT, but it lasts a long time. This is about a 7-hour fragrance, which is pretty outstanding for an EDT. And I would say this is fairly linear. It doesn't get crazy. It pretty much smells the same all the way through. That's my experience with it. But it's very mass appealing. Very mass appealing. My wife is tough, and she has a certain type of fragrance she likes, and typically it is a tobacco, leather. She likes those kind of musk. She likes those darker fragrances. She loves this. I put this on, and she said, "Oh, what is that?" So she really digs this. It is very mass appealing. So again, Armoff, Hunter Intense. It's very, very underrated. Check it out. Underrated fragrance that people don't talk about, and when they do, I don't hear a lot of good things about it, and I certainly don't read a lot of great things about it, which is surprising because it's in a line of fragrances that is beloved, right? Which is the One Gray, right? Dolce & Gabbana, the One Gray. And listen, we love that line. I have the entire line. Right? And I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of my favorites out of the line. I love the line in general, but I don't know why people don't like this. It's an EDT intense, whatever that means, but it's an EDT. And no, it doesn't perform. It's not a beast performer, right? You're going to reapply this in about 5 hours. So I would say it's 5 hours is the limit on this fragrance, but why people don't like it, I don't know. This dries down to the one. It smells like the one. The beginning, the opening is where this, to me, is very different. But again, it has that one DNA all the way through. But the grapefruit is very predominant in the opening. And so it makes it a warm weather fragrance. And so, okay, it lasts 5 hours. It's not super expensive. You can get this for $45. And I'm telling you, this is very, very nice. I wore this today, once I hopped out of the shower earlier today. And so I really dig it. I dig it. And it's, if you want to wear the one, but you just go, well, I can't wear the one during the day because let's face it, it's more of a cooler weather fragrance or a nighttime fragrance, a date fragrance, not this. This you can wear during the day and you should wear it during the day and you can wear it in warm weather. I actually think it's an all year fragrance. It just doesn't perform that well, but it doesn't get enough love. This is a very underrated fragrance. I think it's one of the best in the line. I really do. All right, next one is from my man, Sammy Andros. And I don't know, Sammy. I don't know why I said my man. I've never spoken with him, but I love his fragrances. And there's one that no one talks about. No one talks about this. I'm going to thank Ryan for turning me on to this fragrance because you know how much I talk about, right? You know how much I talk about African Rooibos from Chris Collins. It's just one of my top 10 fragrances, I think. I mean, it's just truly outstanding. Well, guess what? That's a very expensive fragrance. Chris Collins, very expensive. You know what it isn't? Magic Element by Sammy Andros. Now, again, this is not, let me be very clear. This is not a clone. This isn't even inspired by the Chris Collins fragrance, African Rooibos, as far as I know. But I'll tell you what, it's very similar. What I mean is this very similar feel. So if you would like to have that kind of really nice, how would I say nice? It's good feeling tea fragrance. This is the one. Now, what's strange about this? There's no tea in this, supposedly. I don't believe it. Supposedly, the top notes are grapefruit, lavender, artemisia. The middle notes, spices, tobacco. Base notes, dark woody notes, and ambergris. There's tea. To me, there's tea in here. To my nose, there's tea in here. This is a tea fragrance. And it is very similar to African Rooibos. It really is, and that's $29. You heard? $29. Okay. So this is excellent. Thank you, Ryan, for turning me on to this because it is just an outstanding fragrance. Now, is it African Rooibos? No. What I say is it's as upscale as African Rooibos? No. But this is a pretty darn amazing fragrance, and I believe this could be someone's signature scent. It could be an everyday scent all year round. It lasts forever. This is I'm going to say, when I put this on, it lasted a good 8 hours, 7-8 hours, and so 7 to 8 hour fragrance, and then it's a skin scent from there, and you reapply it or you don't. Right? But this is a very, very good fragrance. And although it doesn't have tea in the notes, this is a tea fragrance. Come on, Sammy. It's a tea fragrance. You know what's up. Next underrated fragrance, I'm sticking with the indie fragrance designers. Does that make sense? Indie fragrance designers. I don't know. Anyway, this one, I don't know if it got talked about a lot when it came out. I'm guessing it did. And I'm sure it gets talked about more during the colder months. But to me, this is underrated because it is just, it's the bomb. It's the bomb. And it is Happyland Signature by Happyland Fragrances. I don't own any other Happyland fragrances, which is kind of a shame because this is just unbelievable. This is also a 10 out of 10. I mean, if you haven't tried this, if you like darker fragrances, for example, top notes, honey, cinnamon, and you got blueberry, which is very interesting. Middle notes, tobacco, oud, cashmere, anise. Base notes, amber, vanilla, tonka bean, musk. And I got to tell you, the blend on this is so smooth. It's one of the smoothest fragrances I own. I love this. This is a 10 out of 10. It really is. And this is a 10-hour fragrance. 10 hours. You put this on, get ready to wear it. 10-hour fragrance. So Happyland Signature, oh man. And this is very affordable. It's a 50 ml. when I bought, I think it was $39.99. I think, don't quote, could be $49.99, but there's always some kind of code you can put in, gives you a little discount. So it's either $49.99 or $39.99, but it's worth every penny. It's worth more. It's worth more. I would pay $100 for 50 ml of this. It's that good. It's that good. So, Happyland Signature. All right, so my next fragrance is another one that Ryan turned me on to. I mean, Ryan's like my, I don't even know. He's like my fragrance pimp. You know, he gives me all these ideas for fragrances. Hey, you got to try this. You got to try this. And he knows me by now, and he's kind of got me figured out, I think. And so one that no one's really talking about. In fact, I haven't seen anyone talk about it. And I don't watch every video. I don't watch even everyone I'm subscribed to. I can't watch every single video, but I don't know. I just haven't seen this. And it's the time of year. This is a summer fragrance. This is just delightful. And it is Chrome Pure by Azzaro. Chrome Pure. Ah, man. Top notes, mandarin orange, bergamot. Middle notes, watery notes, orange blossom, and a type of wood. Base notes, tonka bean, musk, cedar, mate, I believe it is. M-A-T-E. Anyway, you know what? Let's find out what mate is together, because I actually don't know. It's a bitterish tea note. Makes sense, actually. It's a bitterish tea note from Latin America. All right. So this is a really good one. I mean, surprisingly good. You know, when I got it at first, I wasn't sure. I sprayed it on. I'm like, okay. But it's smooth. It's very warm weather. This is a fragrance that you could make your signature scent in the summer. Very affordable. I think I picked it up for $45, maybe 43, and it's really good for 100 ml, by the way. And it's very good. This is like very well blended. It's shocking that it's a cheaper fragrance, because this is very, very nice, and it's a warm weather fragrance. I'm not saying you couldn't wear this. You can wear anything you want, but I'm not saying you can't wear this. But it's an EDT. The longevity is not forever on this. I would say this is about a 4 or 5 hour fragrance before it's a skin scent. But again, reapply. Reapply. I don't have a problem with that. It's a $45 fragrance. Reapply. But it smells delightful. It really does. So, Chrome Pure by Azzaro. Check it out. All right, I'm going to stick to the Azzaro train for this next one. This is a fragrance that I think when it first came out, it was talked about. But then as it released flankers, people just like the flankers better. And I get that, because I love the flankers as well. But Azzaro Wanted, the original, Azzaro Wanted, to me, is just an underrated gem and just an amazing fragrance. My wife loves this fragrance. She said something kind of funny. I don't really know what she means by this, but she said it reminds her of Harry Potter World or Hogwarts when we go to Universal. I don't know why that is. I don't know if she walks into a store and it has a candle that smells. I have no idea. But every time I put it on, she goes, "Oh, I smell Hogwarts." I don't know why that is. But this is top notes: lemon, ginger. You know the notes I like to, right? Lemon, ginger, lavender, and mint. Middle notes: apple, juniper, Guatemalan cardamom, geranium. Base notes: tonka bean, amberwood, Haitian vetiver. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching this channel, I always say I'm just not a huge apple fragrance fan. I don't know why. Like, I don't like Boss Bottled Intense. I don't like it. Anything that smells like apple pie, or I don't know why, but this is an exception. I love this fragrance, and there's definitely some apple. The apple is fairly predominant in it, along with the lemon, though, and the ginger. I love this fragrance. The cardamom really brings it all together. I mean, this is just a great fragrance. And for an EDT, this thing lasts all day. This is like a 7 hour fragrance before it becomes a skin scent. It really is an EDT that lasts 7 hours. Man. So I love this fragrance. I don't think it gets enough love. In fact, I know it doesn't get any love on Fragrantica, right? I mean, this gets voted down. People say it's garbage. I am confused, because I think this is just an amazing fragrance. So very underrated, and you can get it super cheap. It's popping up all over discounters now. I got this 50 ml for $19, I think. So something like that at It was not Marshall's, TJ Maxx. So there you go. Azzaro Wanted, the original. Next fragrance is a staple over at Tyler's channel, right? From Simply Fragrances. So he'll be happy about this. To me, this is a fragrance that when I first got it, I was a little unsure about it, but I have to tell you, to me, this is very unique to my collection, and it's Starwalker by Montblanc. I think it's mostly considered a warm weather fragrance, and I can see that's an EDT. It doesn't last very long. This is maybe 3-4 hour fragrance at the most, so it doesn't, but it's super cheap. I mean, I got this bottle for, I think it's $15 at Marshall's, and it's very, very good. I love it. It's unique to me. I think it's the only bamboo fragrance I own, right? So the top notes are bamboo, bergamot, mandarin orange. Middle notes, sandalwood, white musk, cedar. Base notes, ginger, fir resin, nutmeg, amber. I really enjoy this fragrance. I really do. It's very unique. It doesn't smell like anything that I have. So, Starwalker Montblanc. Thanks, Tyler. Next fragrance is from Rasasi. And it's a fragrance I don't see talked about a lot. I've seen it on a couple channels, and people do like it, the people who do talk about it, and for good reason. But it's underrated because no one really talks about it. And it's Dolce. Dolce by Rasasi. And this is an EDP. And let me just give you an idea. If you like The One, which everyone likes The One, then you will like this. Top notes: cumin, cardamom, artemisia. Am I saying that right? Artemisia. Okay. Anyway, middle notes: rose, orris root. Base notes: vanilla, tonka bean, amber, patchouli, sandalwood, and musk. And this is a long-lasting. It projects fairly well. It's not doesn't fill a room or anything like that. This is a little closer to the skin. So this is I'd say this is a 3 foot, maybe 2-3 foot as far as projection in the beginning, but it stays kind of like that. You keep this bubble around you, and this is a 8-9 hour fragrance, and it's very, very good. It's so smooth. This is so smooth. The blend on this is so smooth. I mean, you can't pick out individual notes in this. You just smell it and you go, what is that? That is so nice. What is it? And again, this is a cheap fragrance. You can get this for $45. And so for 100 mil. And it's just, it's delightful. It really is. I mean, it's just a great, and this is a good date night fragrance. I do think this is going to be someone's signature scent because who's wearing Dolce? No one. So this could be a signature scent. I actually think it's not quite as dark as The One. So I think you could wear this all year round. But I do think it's more as an evening in cold weather scent. But it's pretty darn amazing. All right, so pick it up. Dolce, $45. It's very, very good. Next underrated gem is from the house of Abercrombie and Fitch, and it's an EDP, and they don't have a lot of EDPs. This is an EDP, performs like an EDP, lasts 8-9 hours, takes you on a journey. It really does. It's not linear at all. It projects 3-4 feet, like an EDP, typical. It's not going to fill a room or anything, but it projects about 3-4 feet for about 3 hours. And then you have a little bit of a scent bubble around you. It gets closer to the skin, but this lasts, like I said, 8-9 hours. And we're talking Abercrombie and Fitch, First Instinct Extreme. Top notes: starfruit, pepper, mandarin leaf. Middle notes: violet leaf, Sichuan pepper, cardamom, saffron. Base notes: musk, amber, suede, cashmere wood, coconut milk. And let me tell you, you get that. You take that journey with this. When you first put it on, it's such an interesting fragrance. When you first put this on, you get that star fruit. I'm assuming because it's this fruity. I don't know a lot about star fruit, and this is, I think, the only star fruit fragrance I have. I think, but you do get this kind of fruity, melony, almost like a melon in the very beginning, but it's like so like a citrus green, right? So which makes sense. Starfruit has like a citrus green sort of smell, and this does have almost like a melon, which is kind of a citrusy green, right? But you get the pepper right away, and this really does take you on a journey, right? So as you wear this, it keeps the Starfruit stays for a while with the pepper, the cardamom. And then as it dries down, hours later, you get that musk, the amber, and you do get some of that coconut milk, very slight coconut milk. So it's not, by any stretch, this does not ever go into a suntan oil direction at all. It's that coconut milk kind of smooths it out, holds it together. This is like I've worn this fragrance quite a bit, and it's to me, it's shocking how good this Abercrombie and Fitch fragrance is. It's very, very good. You can get it on eBay from reputable sellers for about, it's a little pricier than some of the ones I've been mentioning. I think you can get this for about $55, which still isn't bad because I think it's discontinued. I think this is discontinued. So there's going to be a point where if you want it, you're going to pay $100 for it. $120, $150. You know how that goes. So this is a great fragrance. If those notes sound good to you, because they somehow master the kind of fruity melon with a darkness. They really do with that pepper and the cardamom. So I don't know how they do it. So this is an all-year fragrance. It really is. You can wear I think you can wear this in the summer. Maybe not too hot because it is kind of a deep fragrance, but this is an all-year-round fragrance. It's very good. I left this fragrance out in the last underrated list, so I couldn't do it twice. I couldn't do it twice because I wear this a lot. This is from Alt Fragrances. Even amongst the Alt Fragrances line, this doesn't get the respect it deserves. It is so underrated. In my opinion, this is the best. I have a lot of Alt Fragrances. I want to try them and compare them to other fragrances, the genuine fragrances I have. And I bought them all, paid for them all. And this is the best Alt fragrance that I have. And I think I have, I gave a couple away. I think I have like 10 or 12, something like that. And Nirvana is, my opinion, clearly the best. It's supposed to be inspired by Elysium, by Roja. And I'm going to say something that's going to be controversial. I believe this is better. I do. I believe this is better than Elysium. And here's why. It's brighter on the top, and I enjoy that. So that lemon lime on the top lasts a long time. This fragrance actually has longevity. It has legs. This thing, for me, this fragrance lasts, and it's a fresh fragrance, but it has ambergris on the bottom, which helps with that lasting power. This fragrance lasts about 6 to 7 hours. And I don't get that longevity. I shouldn't say that. I do get the longevity out of Roja, but Roja evolves so quickly. The brightness drops from Elysium on me so quickly. It gets into all the other notes. Somehow, Nirvana, Alt Fragrances, has kept those top notes almost through the entire fragrance. The lemon lime stays almost through the entire life of the fragrance. This is an outstanding fragrance. Doesn't get enough love. Doesn't get any recognition whatsoever, even among that line. But this is my last underrated gem, and it's $49 for 60 ml. I believe it's a 60 ml. It's dope. All right, so there you go. Peter, that was for you. Thanks for the suggestion because I think it was a great one. Underrated fragrances. I mean, I think I could continue on, to be honest. But and if you noticed, all these fragrances were very affordable. Everyone that I mentioned, and that wasn't purposeful, by the way. I didn't even realize I was doing that. All these fragrances were very affordable. So I don't recommend blind buy anything, but when something's affordable, I think sometimes you can blind buy. Blind buy. If you can go test it, any of these, but they're all dope. Every fragrance I just named, dope and underrated. We out.
John Morel, Fragrance Review. Here comes the swag. John Morel, Fragrance Review. Here comes the swag. Fresh and dope like heroin soap. That man's got swag.